No, we're going to lose half the audience. Why would we edit this out?
Did you not hear what Dylan just asked us? He said, don't start without me because you guys are going to talk about bullshit and we need to talk about Leadville and you guys weren't there. I don't know why he thinks that. I know plenty about Leadville. Dylan didn't even watch the race. I watched the entire thing.
You watched it?
Well, I mean, like I followed it on Instagram while he was racing.
So you didn't watch it because it's not streamed, because it's so uninteresting.
That's true. Did you... The highlight updates were like live updates were terrible.
Yeah, I watched like the first half of them because I just wanted to see where Dylan was, but all they did was
watch Keegan.
The top three.
Yeah.
I don't think I followed it at all. If it doesn't like come up naturally to me, I'm not gonna like search for it. You know what I mean? And it didn't come up in my algorithm on my Instagram, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't even know it was happening.
Come on.
We talked about it last week. You guys started talking about it. It's like, it's not cool. It's like, I'll look at the results, but that's all I really care about.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And the results are hard to find.
Yeah. And the results were super glitchy. Like at one point they didn't even have like half the people on the result sheet. They like deleted them or something. It was weird.
They need to have like a pro cycling stats for other things other than road cycling, because it's a phenomenal website and you can know the results like before.
You know what's funny?
Basically.
I used to think the pro cycling stats website was super clunky because like the user interface, like it's not very attractive, but it's works so well. And honestly, like I don't care what a website looks like as long as it works the way that it should. Like it's fine. And that's what pro cycling stats is.
If you look at it frequently enough, it doesn't, you know how to use it, so it doesn't even matter.
Right. And you're just going there for information, which is what results are. Like all you care about is information.
Yeah.
Nah, I completely disagree. It has to be pretty. If it ain't pretty, I ain't using it. Like,
well, the Leadville is not pretty, and you don't have accurate information. So
we all have iPhones.
You know what?
iPhones look better than Androids.
And they work better though.
Yeah, maybe you can.
I hate people who don't have iPhones.
Just Android people would argue the opposite right now.
They just want to be different.
Unless you have an Android and you're like programming your own user interface with like their open source platform, like that's cool. Like my friends that do that and have like wicked ass phones because of that, like that's cool. But if you're just using an Android out of the box, man, that's garbage.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I was just gonna ask something. Totally forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, oh well.
Doesn't matter.
Something to do with Leadville. Yep. All right. Listener questions?
No. This is what it was. No. Hold on. Wait.
No, that was a joke.
Yeah. Hold on. Before we move on, we were talking about websites. I think one of the best websites out there, as far as like reliability and it looks nice, is CYCLIST results. Well, and Ignition. Cross results, dude. That website slaps, man. That's a great website.
The one where it has like the nemesis and your top. Yeah. That one's pretty good. I like that one. All you have to do is type in your name and it literally like pops up everything about your results and everything. You're like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk about something other than Leadville? I'm getting bored already.
Yeah, I think we covered it all.
Dylan, that was record speed, man. That was under 4 minutes and you're on already?
You said 10 minutes and I was thinking, no way.
Yeah, I told you guys to not start recording. What did you guys talk about already?
You sounded like a little kid on Christmas Day. You're like, no, don't open the gifts without me. It's Leadville Day.
It is Christmas Day, dude. And you guys started without me. I'm pissed.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Let's get into it.
Okay. I don't know, dude. It's like Christmas Day. Which present should we open first, man? What should we talk about first?
Do you do the big present or the little present?
Can we? I got a topic to start with. How pissed are you that Keegan's bike breaks the internet, but your bike last year or this year didn't break the internet?
Are you saying my bike didn't break the internet? I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure every single cycling media out there shared Keegan's bike and was like astonished at the fact that he rode drop bars, and that didn't happen for you.
Dude, I was on a lot of cycling. My bike was on a lot of, not as many as Keegan's, obviously.
Like in China or?
It was on Pink Bike, dude. My bike was on Pink Bike.
Anyone can post a Pink Bike.
No, no. No, dude, it was
bikes on Pink Bike. It was
okay. Look, Adam. I want to show you something just to prove my point.
All right, let's see.
All right, hold on. So Keegan Swenson's bike.
This is the equivalent of Dylan saying, "Don't you know who I am? Don't you know who I am?"
This is Keegan Swenson's bike. 13,699 likes. I feel so lame right now comparing likes, but I just have to make a point because Adam did this. All right.
No,
13,699 likes on Keegan's drop bar bike.
This is what popular people care about. How many?
It is what popular people care about. All right.
I can't tell you the last time I've looked at how many likes any of my pictures.
Can you read that number?
Wow,
16,560.
Yeah. Was that last year or this year?
That's this year. It's this year.
Okay.
What was it last year? Let's see last year's post.
I don't know. Slower but more popular. Hey. It's worth something. There you go.
Did you go?
Well, dude, I just had to make a point because Adam's like, "Oh, dude, Keegan's bike broke the internet, but yours didn't." I'm like, I beg to differ.
None of these bikes broke the internet because, in the grand scheme of things, nobody actually cares.
Last year's bike post only had 5,000. So,
you know, I did on Friday. I did convert my mountain bike to drop bars, and I rode it on Sunday. Hate it. I'm like, when I get back home, I'm putting the regular bars right back on it.
Why'd you do that?
No, don't do that.
It was so bad. No, it was so bad. For all the people listening, they're idiots. Do not do that. Do not do that to your bike. It makes your mountain bike suck.
Dude, so the other thing I will say is that, I mean, Keegan won the race, so like there's that. But honestly, Keegan was gonna win the race no matter what bike he was on.
That doesn't really.
The real question was whether or not he was gonna break his own record, and he didn't break his own record.
So they're slower.
He flatted though.
He did. So, and also,
did he flat because his handling was so poor because he was driving the top bars?
He also set the fastest time down Columbine for the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, he set the fastest time on a downhill with drop bars. Is pretty impressive.
I mean, maybe he was going too fast, and that's why he flatted.
Maybe. He flatted on Powerline, rode the rest of the Powerline with a flat tire, and then rode the road section from Powerline to the aid station with a flat, and still got sub 550.
Yeah.
So
still broke the previous record by 8 minutes or whatever.
Right.
9 minutes. Yeah.
So how far did he? How many? For those of us that have never done Leadville, how many miles?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know. How many miles?
He probably
how many miles was that?
It was probably 2 miles of descending or so on Powerline, which is based on what the picture showed.
Flat tire, yeah.
And the last part is like the steepest part, so that part's probably the most sketchy. And then he rode from there probably about 8 miles.
No, not 8, dude.
Oh no,
because
it's the new aid station, right? So he got to the.
It's not 8.
Okay, so it's
probably
5
like
miles.
Not even, maybe like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
But probably
so maybe 5 miles total with a flat tire.
So did he have an insert in? Could he ride the insert? Does that help?
I mean, I guess he rode the whole thing. I don't know if he had an insert or not, but he rode that whole thing with a flat. So,
do you run inserts for this?
Yeah, I ran inserts. Yeah. Not everyone. I would say most people don't run inserts though, which is why there were a lot of flats. Like there were actually a lot of flats this year. I think more than previous years.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Lachlan flatted.
Lachlan got a flat like in the same spot that Keegan did. But his I think might have been a front flat, which is why it cost him so much more time. But I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, well, I think he stopped to fix it. Like Keegan just kept riding.
Yeah,
I don't think Lachlan rode the flat like he did. Look,
if you can, I don't know what what the tire situation was, but if you can plug it real quick, that's like a 30-second mechanical. Like it sounds like Keegan didn't even attempt to do that. I wasn't there, so I don't know if he attempted or not, but
you were already dropped at that point.
Yeah, dude, I was dropped on the first climb.
Yeah, I didn't see you in a single highlight reel.
Yeah, so going back
10 legs. Come on, dude.
So
top 10 legs.
Keegan set the KOM on the first 2 climbs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's crazy is freaking John Gaston was right there with him the whole time. John Gaston was like winning the race for a while.
Also, did he get second?
Lachlan and Torbjorn were right there with them.
Yeah, Torbjorn, I was impressed guys with.
Are. John Gaston's like this underdog that comes out of the woodwork.
He's gotten like top 3 at this race the last like 3 years.
I know, he does one bike race a year.
I mean, he's an underdog throughout the year, but not at this race.
Yeah, he's definitely not an underdog.
At this race, he's very well known.
So why
you don't just get second place and be an underdog?
Because he's a ski mountaineering racer.
And that is just so comparable to Leadville and no other races.
No, I think he lives and trains year round at altitude, and so like he's like Keegan. He's very good at competing at altitude.
He's not small either. He's a pretty big dude. It looks like.
Yeah,
he looked like Blumenfeld on his mountain.
No, he did not, dude. No, dude.
Like
that's what I thought when I saw him. He had a little belly on him. I swear.
No, he did.
He has just massive lungs or something, probably, or he's like good at filling up his lungs.
Blumenfeld doesn't have a belly either.
Yeah, actually, he does, dude. No, honestly,
he's got such a big chest that like
what we think is his
misshapen.
Dude, his lungs just go into his belly.
Someone messaged us after that episode and said that he has 1.5 the size of most people's lungs or something like that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that his lungs are massive, but also can we get somebody measure his body fat percentage?
I mean, dude, because it's not too. Like all swimmers have high body fat percentage.
He's not skinny, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, John Gaston is not Blumenfeld.
Yeah, then who was third? Was Payson third?
Cole Patton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What bars did he use?
Where was Alexi?
Flats.
Alexi had probably the worst day I've ever seen him. Like I passed him real early in the race, and then I think he got like 80th or something.
I think he was like close to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Flat tires or just flat?
No,
legs?
I think he just hasn't been training. I think he's been in Paris.
Why?
Watching his fiance ? Do the triathlon in the Olympics.
Yeah,
I
didn't even know he had a girlfriend. And I thought we were friends.
Apparently, it's your fiance.
Come on, dude. What? You're supposed to call your homeboy Dizzle up and tell him these things.
She's like Australian or something like that. And she's really good at triathlon.
Dude,
is he gonna move to Australia?
Dude, he's had this girlfriend or fiance or whatever it is for like at least 4 years, because when I met Alexi like 4 years ago, he was hanging out with her. So
wow. And she doesn't race gravel, and you know who she is. Wow, that's impressive.
Do you think Alexi knows you have kids?
Yeah, I complain. I use it as an excuse enough. I know. The second that came out, I was like, oh, wrong word. Not complain. I use it as an excuse enough to where I'm pretty sure at this point everybody should know that I have kids.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah,
don't worry.
I'm not gonna lie though. Saying kids plural makes you feel so much older. I mean, like. Anybody can have a kid.
You don't even
have two kids is like, oh my gosh.
Saying it doesn't make you feel older. Having them makes you feel older.
Yeah. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Kids, plural. That's nuts.
All right. So Dylan, tell us about your Leadville, since you were like begging for us to wait to talk about it.
Excited.
Oh yes. By the way, I was the closest. I was the closest to getting his results right.
That I got. Yeah.
I said 11th. All you chumps said he was going to hit top 10.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty confident going in. Like maybe I was overly confident.
Clearly.
Do you think you would have done better if you didn't wait 2 months between doing races?
Yep.
No.
You need a coach.
You don't need to do races to do well at Leadville. Hence John Gaston. Like you don't need to be a good bike racer to do well at Leadville.
That's valid.
Yeah, but that's you taking the one out of the many. Everybody else
look, Leadville is unique though, because you don't need race legs to do Leadville. Like that's
let me back this up. Like effort. You don't. So most races, like you need to be able to handle well in the pack, and you need to be able to handle the accelerations that the pack is going to do. And like you need to be able to follow moves. Like Leadville is, you need to be able to hold one power output on the climbs the whole day. Like that's what you need to be able to do. Like honestly, no one races Leadville like this, but if you're racing Leadville right, you shouldn't go over your FTP one time the entire day.
Except for the whole shot.
No. There's no whole shot. It's downhills for 4 miles.
What was your adjusted FTP to the altitude?
So anyway, so last year
he's just gonna disregard your
250.
So last year I chose 280 watts for my the power number I was going to hold on the climbs. This year, my power numbers were better in training, so I chose 300 watts. No, I chose 300 watts.
You think you got 15% better in the last year? 15%?
Yeah, clearly I
power meter.
It's actually the same power meter as last year. So anyway, I chose 300 watts. 300 watts was too much because I cracked in the second half. Now, here's the thing about me cracking in the second half is that everyone cracks in the second half of Leadville because no one paces themselves correctly. So when I cracked, I didn't actually lose places, but I did lose time relative to my previous self from the previous year. So I did the first half faster than last year, and I did the second half slower than last year, and I ended up 3 minutes slower.
Did you, when you do Columbine, are you trying to hold 300 watts up the entire Columbine, or are you letting yourself kind of come down as you're going up?
I was going to try to hold 300, and then I got about halfway up, and I was like, this isn't going to happen. So I did let it come down. I think I did 278 average for Columbine this year.
If it wasn't at altitude, what number would you have? What does that relate to your sea level?
It changes the entire course.
Yeah, because you're going up and down. But I will say, if this race...
300 watts sounds easy. I mean, I can do 300 watts.
Oh my gosh, Drew. It's at 10,000 feet, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I'm saying 300
It's probably the equivalent of 360 or 370.
See, that's what I'm trying to get at, is RPE level.
Yeah. So, and I will say that if you took this course and put it at sea level, I would not follow this strategy. The reason I'm following this strategy is because it's at altitude, and it's so easy to blow up at altitude.
Sounds like such a dumb race. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to go all the way to Colorado to ride at 20% lower than my normal FTP.
Yeah, but it feels 20% harder.
My FTP already is 20% lower than the fastest guys, and now I'm going to take another 20% off of that.
There's also 20% lower.
Yeah, if anything, it actually it gets you closer to them.
It would.
20% of theirs is a bigger hit to them than it is to you.
Oh, math. That is some math. Y'all are right.
Not why it's a dumb race.
So you need to do a race at 20,000 feet.
Oh, okay. I'm going to... Here I come, Ecuador. I hope there's bike races in Ecuador.
Ecuador is the only place he knows that's at altitude.
It's cheaper to go to Ecuador than it is to Colorado. That's what I'm saying. And you can get Coke for 15 cents.
Okay, dude, no one cares about Coke in Ecuador.
This is the coolest thing. No, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
I was going to say, I think... All right, so tell us about your race, other than that you bonked in the second half.
Don't give us a 20-minute.
I mean, yeah, I basically just gave you the rundown. Like, I chose a power number that was too high. I ended up cracking.
That's the whole race? I mean, what about, like, everything else about the race? Did you have fun? Do you want to go back?
No, it's not fun.
Are you already planning for next year?
Bike racing's not fun, man. What are you talking?
So you didn't beat Stetna? That's a bummer. He has kids too. That's embarrassing, buddy.
I mean,
you let a guy with kids beat you.
Dude,
there were multiple
Gaston
people with kids that beat me.
Yeah.
John Gaston, Trekkie. They all have kids. They beat me.
Who the hell is Trekkie?
How did he do?
He got 13th, I think.
Who's Trekkie? Is his name Trekkie?
He's the Australian. Yeah, he's the Australian gravel and mountain bike national champion.
Oh,
he's in the Grand Prix.
Oh wow,
he's not the gravel.
He's got kids.
Champ.
So does he come over here for the whole year, or does he go back and forth?
No, he goes back and forth.
Oh, that's brutal.
So his kids stay home.
Doesn't he have a kid?
Oh my god! Like it matters, dude. He's got
it matters. One kid is easy. 2 kids.
Yeah,
easy.
No, we get it, man. We get it. Yeah. Everyone knows that you have multiple kids and it's slowing you down. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how my predictions for the women's race was exactly spot on?
That was a pretty sick call. Yeah.
How many of the women use drop bars?
None of them.
Actually,
Zero. Yeah.
Sounds like drop bars were a failure.
Yeah.
Except they set the second fastest time overall.
Did you go slower?
Yeah, I went 3 minutes slower. But I had drop bars last year too. So my fastest Leadville time ever is with drop bars.
Okay.
Do you think the hardtail is faster than the full suspension after doing it with both?
I mean, I think that also conditions were slower this year. Because my power output for the whole race was actually higher this year, and I went 3 minutes slower.
Mm. You just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. I'm not getting slower. I'm not slower. The course was slower. That's a good one. I'm going to keep that one in my back pocket.
But like 3 minutes is like 3 minutes over a 6.5 hour race is like within the margin of error. So
yeah.
But
yeah, your call on the women's race was pretty stellar. Mm-hmm. And it was actually really cool to watch it shake down. And then seeing all of Melissa's interviews and stuff afterwards was really cool too. That race meant so much to her compared to like anyone winning any race. It was like that was cool to see.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw Melissa after the race and she was in tears.
Yeah. For days. She probably still is.
She's probably still in tears.
Yeah.
Why? Did somebody
So her story was that Leadville was like the first race she ever signed up for in 6 or 7 years ago or something like that.
And she didn't quit? Like she didn't quit cycling?
No, the opposite.
If that was your first race, I'd hang it up. I'm gonna be a baseball player.
No,
I'm not saying for me.
She said like the opposite, that the race attracted her so much that she was like hooked on bike racing after that. And then every single year she just kept trying to improve. And then 4 years later, she got her first pro contract because she cracked the top 5 or something like that. And then now she's won the race. So she went from literally back of the pack, first ever race to now winning the race 6 or 7 years later.
Yeah. Also, her parents have done the race 20 times or something. Her parents were in the race while she was racing, and they got to see her come down Columbine in first place.
Yeah. Her, I don't know if it's, I can't remember if it's dad or stepdad, but he does the Leadville podcast. There's a podcast that's called the Leadville 100 podcast, and he's the host of that.
Mm-hmm. They just do one episode every year.
They do more episodes than we do.
Talk about it. Do you dissecting every single rock on course or something?
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, I've been on the Leadville podcast.
Really?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I talked about drop bars.
And I'm already bored. I've been bored for 15 minutes. There's about 10 minutes of quality content to consume.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any athletes that were doing it? Scott, I know you did.
Yep.
No, I don't think so.
I had 7 athletes that were out there.
Whoa.
7.
Oh,
yeah.
We got to talk about this. I was thinking about Flow Formulas does this thing where they get a house and then whoever, Flow people want to stay in it. We should do that with Ignition next year because then it would create opportunities for like Adam. That's a perfect example. Adam has 7 of his athletes going to Leadville. If we book a house for Leadville and they all stay there and then Adam flies in and he can stay there with them, it's like perfect because you're building those relationships with your athletes.
Yeah,
and
that'd be sick.
It's probably a better housing situation.
I haven't had FOMO of like missing out on races at all this year. Like I haven't really cared, but Leadville, like I definitely wish I was there, and not even racing because I know I would have sucked, but just to be there, like to support my athletes and stuff.
Some pro mystique work.
That'd be cool. I would do a pro mystique for Leadville.
One of my athletes is going to do the Mega Mid-South, which is they're doing a 300-mile. The Mid-South is going to do a 300-mile route this fall, I think in like 6 weeks from now in September. And so one of my guys is thinking about doing it. And I was like, for a second, I was thinking like, oh, I could go down there and do it with him and just do the pro mystique thing with you and just ride with him.
I'm out. Count me out of that one.
But then I was like, I don't really want to ride. He has in his training peaks for his estimated time 25 hours. And it's like 1,200 TSS in one day. Well, I guess it's in 2 days, but
I mean, that's ultra racing for you.
I'm like, yeah,
I wish I was there. Like Leadville's, I know Scott and Drew, you guys could care less about Leadville, but I don't know. It probably is my favorite race of all time.
Wow, favorite race of all time.
I think so. Yeah.
Dang.
I had like 5 people message me Friday night and wish me luck at Leadville.
Dude, I did too, and I wasn't even like I never even.
Yeah.
Did they not realize that video you put out was a joke?
Yeah, we were just trolling.
Okay, so actually, let's go back. Speaking of trolling on the internet, so both Cole Patton and Russell Finsterwald and Drew were trolling about the weight of their bike last week.
Were they? Did you get that? Is that for real? They were their bikes weren't really that light.
Yes, they weren't really that light.
Oh, that's funny. That's pretty funny,
dude. It's funny because I like we talked about it on the podcast, and like that day I went out for my ride, and I was still thinking about. I was like, man, could you really build a 15 or 16 pound hardtail? And I was trying to do all the calculations in my head, and
in your head, dude.
I was doing it literally in my head, like counting every single gram of component that I knew, like the weights for and everything.
Yeah, you know what you need. You know what you need to be able to make that happen. You got to order yourself the Bosch 20. You got to order yourself the Bosch 2860 wireless Dremel, and that will help you get your bike down. That will, if you're going to try to get your mountain bike to 15 pounds, you need a Dremel.
So here's the thing, though: the frame is the lightest part on the whole bike.
Yeah, you don't really need a Dremel to frame. I mean,
you'd have to like Dremel the tires.
You could drill holes into everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, you know that what's his name? Danglehorn guy?
No.
Who like he gets these Scott bikes down
is this a friend of yours, Mr. Danglehorn?
No.
You hang out with Mr. Danglehorn?
I would love to hang out with him. Actually,
is that whose house you were in? He's the cow house guy. That's the Dangle House farm.
All right, so who's this guy?
Look him up, dude. Look him up on Instagram. He probably has built a sub 15 pound
but
Scott
use
scale
like
hard.
random BS parts and stuff like that, because I don't care about that. I was trying to use like real parts that are from real manufacturers.
It's not gonna happen. Like the lightest you're gonna get a stock hardtail is probably 19 pounds.
Dangle Supply Co.
No.
Dangle Jojo.
Whatever. Just don't look it up. Forget about it.
Dangle Dave.
It's
Steve
Dangle.
Home. There's an L in there.
Yeah.
No. My algorithm doesn't work.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, like, it is possible to build a mountain bike, a hardtail up to 15 pounds if you're buying like bougie German parts that are going to break.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to ride the bike. You just get to look at it.
I calculated it again when I got home and was like actually like thinking straight. And I could have gotten my S-Works hardtail down to like mid 17s using like real parts that you could buy from like a real manufacturer. And it would be like, you could ride it. Like, it's not like a bike, like you could ride that at Leadville and you'd be fine. Not using like your Gemini bars that snap in half or whatever.
Well, dude, Cole Patton did use Gemini bars. They held together for the race.
Sketchy.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, they were trolling. It was a good troll because a lot of people believed them. Like, there were people commenting on my bike post and being like, oh yeah, well, Cole Patton's bike is 7 pounds lighter, so I don't think your drop bars are going to make up for that weight difference.
Yeah. Same with, because didn't Rusty, wasn't his like 18 pounds or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. I put mine at 12.5, but the scale said, but you could see the scale say -8 or whatever before we even put the bike on there. So we did that just to be funny.
So yeah. Did you talk with Keegan or Rusty after the race?
No, dude, Keegan doesn't hang around after races. He dips. I mean, dude, granted, I finished like 40 minutes after him, but
he was there for like the 12-hour finishers, though.
Wow, nice guy. He wasn't there for the 6.5-hour finishers, though.
No, he didn't give a shit about you guys. Clearly, he said that on the first climb.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, like, no, I didn't actually talk to him. I have been DMing him about his bike for the past 2 weeks.
No.
So somebody tipped me off that he was going to run drop bars like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so of course the first thing that I did was like, I think I sent him a DM and I was just like, do it. Like, no context. I was just like, do it.
Like, he's like, what am I supposed to do, man?
Yeah, and then he sent back like a question mark, and I'm like, you know what I'm talking about. Don't play dumb. You know what I'm talking about.
I can just imagine, like, he's hanging out with his real friends, and he's like, you guys won't believe who just texted me. That goofy YouTuber Dillman just texted me, and all he said was, do it.
Not this isn't throwing shade against Keegan, but I don't think he hangs out with real friends very often. Like, he's
do I want friends or do I want to win bike races?
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah. That's what it takes.
Yeah,
you guys, it's your guys' fault that I'm not winning races.
Yeah, dude, it's honestly a bummer. Like, I my heart literally sank when I saw the Instagram live update that Keegan had flatted and like was rolling a flat and got picked off.
Your heart sank.
Dude, because I just wanted him to break that record so bad.
Yeah, I wanted him to break the record too. I wanted him to break the record too, because then everybody who's like a massive Leadville drop bar hater, like, they wouldn't have anything to say if he broke the record. I mean, they still kind of don't have anything to say because he won the race with drop bars. But like, if he had broken the record, it's like you literally can't say anything at that point.
Yeah. And then my heart sank when I realized that he was back in the race and was going to win but not break the record. Like, it was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to break the record. Because then I really wanted John Gaston to win. Once Keegan was not going to break the record, I kind of, I wanted the underdog story.
Yeah.
But that also didn't happen.
We should, I think Scott's falling asleep. We should probably do an ad read to bring him back in. Scott, what's our ad read for the week?
Dude, can we talk about SILCA, the new SILCA product?
No,
I don't think we're allowed to.
Well, actually,
it's a date.
Which day does it come out? It comes out on the 16th, right?
So I thought 17th.
Can you check really quick?
No, I can't.
Dylan, you should know
because my microphone is plugged into my phone.
We'll talk about the new SILCA product next week.
No, we can.
The only question I have about
we'll drop it. It'll be if it's just one day earlier.
It comes out on the 16th. Let's talk about it. Which is Friday. We're coming out. Thursday.
No, don't be 12 hours.
No, we can't.
True. You can't do that. Don't talk about it.
Why?
Just know, all of our listeners, you're hearing this now. There's going to be something coming out on the 16th, and you got to tune in.
What's the big deal? What could go wrong in 12 hours?
Dude,
where we can't talk.
You just literally can't. Like that's how
embargoes work. It's called embargoes.
That's like
I know, but if we talk about it on Thursday, people get so excited they'll be waiting on Friday for the drop.
That's what we're doing now. That's we're building the anticipation right now.
Okay. I did all this on purpose.
Yeah, and it's probably going to sell out in a few minutes. So
it probably
if you're hearing
will.
this on Thursday, you should get in line.
Dude, may or may not have something to do with the Crockpotanator 4000.
Okay, all right. Oh, Drew, stop. People already knew that.
It doesn't, but you should own a Crockpotanator 4000 before getting this product.
Man, don't lie.
Okay, you got stop giving. Jeez, people already knew that. Like people were commenting on Keegan's post, like I already knew about this from Bonk Bros.
Can we talk about it?
Oh, his.
I have a
bike?
question. Have you guys used the new thing yet?
Okay, Drew, let's just move on to the next topic. Jeez. We're moving on. Wait, do we have another ad read to do?
Did you shave your legs and arms before?
No, hold on. Is it still Bike Bros? No, wait. Bonk Bros Bike Wash? Is that still the code?
Yeah, it's still the code.
Wow. It's lasted a long time. That's good.
Yeah,
it's probably because it's so obscure.
Yeah. It's all lowercase too. Some people get it wrong because they put capital Bonk Bros, but it's all lowercase Bonk Bros Bike Wash.
Got it. Good to know.
Yep.
Dude, so Bold Shave is back on?
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Shaving legs and arms since the beginning of time.
Yep.
For men who shave their legs.
Getting a workout in while you shave.
Dude, I actually did travel without the Bolt Shave razor a couple weeks ago because I for that same reason I was like I don't want to put it in my bag because it's kind of heavy. It's way better. Normal razors actually do suck now compared to the Bolt one. So
yeah, maybe I should have said this on the last. Maybe I should have said this on the last ad read, but I do think that the shaving quality is good. I approve of it.
It's like it is like the best shaver or razor I've ever used for my legs.
I mean, I usually buy 50-cent disposable razors, so it's not saying a whole lot, but it worked really well.
Yeah.
You know how when you get something really nice, you don't want to use it all up at once? It's like you don't want to eat your dessert too fast. That's how I feel with the Bolt Shave, all the different creams that they have. They have 3 different creams that you put on your leg throughout the process. And I'm like, oh, this stuff's so nice. I'm only going to use it once a month. Because it's so nice. I'm like, this is too nice for me. I'm just going to use my old whatever.
Do you feel like you're not worthy, Drew?
Maybe, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like, this stuff is too fancy.
You've got 2 kids, man. You're worthy.
That's how I feel when I walk into a really clean house. I'm in an Airbnb that's really clean right now, and I'm like, I shouldn't be here.
I thought you were staying with Deanna.
I am. She has an Airbnb.
Oh.
I'm out. This place is way too clean for me. I'm going down to the Motel 6. I'm out.
Yeah, but if you stayed with Dylan, you know what his room looks like within a couple hours of him being there. I get it.
Oh my gosh.
Have you seen his house?
I haven't seen his house, but I can
only imagine. Looks like a frat house.
There's a hole in the kitchen floor where he just sweeps all the crumbs into and they just disappear.
That's actually kind of genius. I think all houses should have that.
Well, yeah. We'll see what happens when it sets on fire or something eventually.
Dylan's out. Dylan has a back room that's it was an addition, so it's kind of a weird little. You have to go through the kitchen and there's a back room, but the door to the bathroom in that room just randomly locks, and it's happened I think twice since I've stayed at his house that I'll accidentally lock that door, and there's no other way to get into that little bathroom, and Dylan's had to go outside and climb through this one little window through the back of the house to get in. Just because I accidentally.
But you're not in there.
Door.
It locks with no one in there.
Yeah, it locks with nobody in there, and you're well, now what? And Dylan's had to crawl through the window. You don't have a
key for that or something?
I guess
you can replace the door handle and get a new key for it.
Yeah,
just don't be an idiot and lock the bathroom door.
Yeah, I Yeah, I guess that's what I did.
So Dylan, I have a question for you. So
fault.
I hear there's a big match going down later tonight. I want to hear your prediction.
A match?
What? Yeah. Little table tennis action.
Oh,
ping pong?
How'd you hear about that?
Are you good at ping pong?
Deanna.
Okay.
So no way Dylan is good at ping pong.
No, I'm not good at ping pong, dude. We used to play ping pong in college. I was like the worst one.
Oh, good. I would smoke you.
Yeah, you would smoke me, dude. I suck at ping pong.
Do you think you're gonna get shut out? Like,
yeah,
you gonna score any points?
I mean, I might score a point.
Oh, is this with your Danny? Are you playing against Danny?
No, Deanna is having a birthday party tonight, and there's going to be ping pong and we're going to watch the Leadville recap video.
No, that's not what you're going to. What?
That's what you're.
That sounds. That sounds so lame. I thought you were going to say like we're going to watch the new Spider-Man or something. No, like, but you said Leadville. I'm like, what? Dude. That's like the dumbest. Why would you even put that on the itinerary?
I didn't.
We're gonna blow out. We're gonna do candles, and then we're gonna do gifts, and then we're gonna watch the Leadville recap.
Look, like, I didn't make this itinerary, so
people need to get a life. Hey, how about this? Order Deanna an inflatable. Get an inflatable slide, like a water slide or something, and screw the Leadville thing. Sure that'll be so much more fun. Oh, that's not. You guys are terrible. I meant a slide.
You're the one that said it.
Dude, Deanna's not a 5-year-old.
Dude, adults can have so much fun on a big inflatable slide.
An inflatable slide seems fun for like everybody involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw some water on that thing.
Dylan's never had fun in his life, so
that would be a lot of fun.
Feels like.
Dylan's like giddy about this Leadville video tonight. Like that was gonna be the highlight of his whole evening.
No, dude, because I didn't make the cut.
Tim
Johnson texted me and he's like, "Yo, your footage didn't make the cut, so I'm not even in it."
Bummer.
Dude, I gave him my GoPro footage and everything, and they didn't even use it.
You had a GoPro?
Not a GoPro, but you know what I'm saying. Like
your hands are probably in the way because of the drop bars, so they couldn't use it.
Dude, speaking of, I had my number kind of. I had my number on my bike. Like, it was basically on my stem, like, parallel to the ground, like, real arrow-like. And that was partially because I wanted it to be arrow, but it was also partially because it's really hard to mount my number for some reason. Between my camera and, like, the cables and everything, like, I just couldn't find a good way to mount my number. And an official came up to me and cut my number off and remounted it before the race. Like,
really?
10 minutes before the race, he remounted it. Yeah, he was pissed too.
Really?
I was like, dude, I spent like an hour last night trying to mount this thing. And he's like, no, you're doing it for aero.
So
why can't they just give you one that you pin on your back like every other discipline?
Yeah. I still don't. Yeah, we got to just get rid of the number plates, man. It's just
the Dust Bowl is like a little race in Indiana, and they've got it figured out. They just give you a little sticker thing that goes around your seat post, and there's no other numbers besides that. And all it is a chip that's on your seat post, and it sticks to itself, and you tear it off when you're done. Done. It doesn't fall off because it's stuck to your bike. It's not in the way. It's not an arrow. There's not. I don't even think there's a number on the thing. It's just literally a chip.
Yeah. Like mountain biking can learn a lot of things from Moto that can be really beneficial, but number plates that they got from Moto should not be one of them. That needs to just go away. It should be on the jerseys like they have in Moto. Like, that's sick, and I like when people do that. But yeah, the number plates on the front gotta go.
Yeah. So anyway, that probably cost me 3 minutes. I would have equaled my time from last year.
No way. You also said the drop bars are going to save you what, like 15 minutes or something?
6 minutes
slower.
Yeah, but I had drop bars last year, so it's like.
Do you really think Keegan could have gone sub 6 hours on a 30-pound full suspension bike?
Yes. If he had fast tires, yes. Like, if he was just on a trail bike with slow trail tires, no. But if he's on a 30-pound bike with fast tires, I think he could still go sub 6 at Leadville.
Did he have those Maxxis STs Any flat?
Yeah, those STs are awful. Like, not only are they slow, but they also flat easy. He's not the only one with the STs that flatted too. Like, there were multiple people with STs that flatted.
Yeah, I have known a few people that have flatted them now.
Dude, also Grotz was
you guys had said this last week. Adam was talking about his whole testing protocol, and he had me sold on the ST, so that's what I got on my bike now.
Why are you sold on what Adam says? Why aren't you sold on what I say about tires?
Because I actually tested them.
I don't like you.
No, I still think they're fast, but all I said was I know a few people that have flatted them. Last weekend.
You can't flat at Schwamigan though. It's grass, isn't it?
You can definitely flat at Schwamigan. Yeah.
But if you flat an ST at Schwamigan, you're probably going to have flatted something else too.
No. What? What is that logic? No, absolutely not.
I don't know. You're fine, Drew. I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
So I was pre-riding, and I rolled up, and I saw Sophia, and I rolled up to Sophia, and I she didn't have gravel tires on her bike like last year. She had normal mountain bike tires, and I said, "Oh, like you're not running gravel tires this year?" And she said, "Oh yeah, it turns out they're not faster." And then guess what?
Howard
Grotz ran gravel tires.
Which gravel tires did he run?
I don't know. They might have been a prototype or something. They look like 47s, maybe.
Yeah, that's how I knew they were gravel tires, because they were small.
Yeah. Yeah, so my question is, like, somebody needs to be communicating this better to the specialized athletes.
Here's your platform, man. Preach.
Like, Sophia and Howard are on the same team, and Sophia has now realized that gravel tires are slower, but somehow Howard didn't get the memo.
If you were going to run gravel tires, why wouldn't you just run that like full suspension gravel bike that they have, the Diverge thing? Why wouldn't you just run that whole bike?
Because that would be so much slower, dude.
But you're already running gravel tires. Just ride that bike.
No, because that would be slower than a full suspension with gravel tires. Like, a full suspension mountain bike with gravel tires is faster than the gravel bike with gravel tires at Leadville.
But it's a full suspension gravel bike.
Yeah, but like it's got like what 10 mil of suspension? Like, it's barely anything. It's like kind of.
Do you think I could finish Leadville on a road bike?
No.
No.
You couldn't do it?
No. Gravel bike you could.
Like a road bike with 28s?
Just a standard road bike.
No. You would flat for sure.
I bet you could finish in under 12 hours, but you would have to run a lot.
Yeah, you'd have to be doing a lot of walking, man, if you had a road bike. Yeah. I don't think any sort of gravel bike is faster at Leadville. I think you want a mountain bike.
My fastest time up Powerline is on a gravel bike. Granted, it wasn't 80 miles into a race. It was like 40 miles into a training ride. Mm-hmm. But it's still my fastest time up Powerline by over a minute. But that's uphill. It sucks going downhill.
Yeah, but that's a pretty technical uphill, actually.
Is this race, isn't it an out and back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you like running into people on the way back?
Yes.
Dude, it was sketchy. I didn't realize, I'd never seen the footage of the race until the Instagram live feeds this year. It's like sketchy. I mean, like they're literally just passing each other. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you're going
stay to the right, like 40
down
just stay on the right side.
Yeah. But what here's the thing though, is like when the leaders are coming back down, they're crossing over people that are like not as fast going uphill. So they're having to use like some of the whole road at times to like get around people and to like paperboy their way up the hill. So like you think you've got a clear lane, but you don't always have a clear lane. Like there's some times where there's someone like in the way and you're just hoping that they get out of the way before you get there.
Also, the top of Columbine is like technically double track, but it gets pretty narrow and chunky in certain parts where like when you're passing somebody, there's probably 6 inches between the two of you.
Yeah. And there's big baby heads on the trail too, that like, you know, like if you only have one side of the double track, like you have to go somehow divert that. It's a little hairy.
Are the drop bars an advantage for like cutting it close to people because you have less bar sticking up?
I guess
could be. Yeah.
It's not. I didn't really think about that, but
have you guys seen? There's like 2 or 3 cyclocross videos where people are going because cyclocross courses will often have the course run backwards on itself, but with tape in between. And have you ever seen the video of I think it happened to Ryan Trebone at Cyclocross Worlds one year, where a rider on the other side of the course crashed and flipped over the tape. But when they flipped over, it was right when Ryan Trebone was riding the other way, and they collided, and Trebone just launched. And Trebone's already 7 feet tall. So when he hit the ground, it dude, he didn't even get up. I mean, he was knocked. It's a pretty epic video. Somebody got it on footage. That's what I imagine happening at Leadville. Just the 2 people go in the wrong direction right at the right time to where they just whop right into each other.
I'm sure it's happened.
No, I bet it happened. Yeah, I bet it happened this year multiple times. That many people.
Mm-hmm. Do we have anything else we want to talk about for Leadville?
I hope not.
Are there any other races we could talk about? Scott, have you been racing?
No.
Drew, where are you at?
I did an 11-day stage race. Of course I'm not racing. Gotta rest.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's half a Grand Tour.
Somebody should have told that to Remco before he went to the Olympics.
Dude, I don't know how, buddy. I don't know how people do Grand Tours after doing that. This might have been a different race because it was full gas every day, racing. Where Grand Tours, they might have a sprint stage might be pretty easy. But just with the saddle sores alone, I don't know. It's much more problem.
Dude, you're so easily susceptible to saddle sores. Well, what's going on down there?
I don't know what has happened to me.
Do you take showers, man?
Yeah, I was showering within 10 minutes of finishing every race.
Dude, remember in college when you did a Waynesville loop and then you slept in the bibs that you did the Waynesville loop in, and then
that's not true. That's not true.
We've all done that. Come on, we've all done that. You get home and you're just so smoked.
I
you just
lost
take a nap.
something on the loop, so I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do it again and find it. And then I didn't have any clean clothes, so I wore the same bibs 2 days ago.
Okay, so
there's
you
your
did
problem,
do that.
Man.
Okay, but I didn't sleep in them.
What do you sleep in? Nothing?
Probably normal clothes.
Okay.
In high school, I would ride my bike. We would do the Tuesday night Worlds ride, and I would do that and then stay the night at my friend's house on that side of town. And then I would just sleep in his clothes that night. And then in the morning, I would wake up and put my dirty chamois back on and ride home.
That is grody, dude.
I swear. Did it multiple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a saddle sore ever doing that?
I don't remember. If I did, it was probably just because I was running the stock saddle that came on the bike anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there's at a certain point where you're just riding your bike so many hours a week that you're probably just going to have a sore.
And it was so hot that I was constantly dumping, I was constantly wet. Just dumping water all over myself. So that doesn't help.
Yeah.
With the saddle sores.
Adam, do we have listener questions?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we should probably just do some listener questions.
Yeah, we're getting down.
Dude, that's what I was.
This has to be the most boring episode we've ever recorded.
No, dude,
I've never been more bored.
No, I don't think so many Leadville cult followers, dude. It's gonna be.
I don't think we finished that Bolt Shave ad. I think we got halfway through, and then Drew went off on a tangent about something else.
Why didn't we get Keegan on the episode? I thought you and him are so
you were supposed
buddies.
to close the deal, man.
Yeah, you guys are such good buddies now.
It up and everything.
So you guys must be best friends.
Yep. Yeah, sorry. I didn't talk to him one time at the race, so.
Wow.
Such letdown.
Good friends.
Yep.
Okay, this one comes from Clemen. Hi guys, love the podcast. What?
No. Clementine? Why would you name your kid Clement and not Clementine?
Don't insult the guy's name. Who cares?
Actually, their last name is
distracting.
I won't say their last name, but their last name is very close to that.
Oh,
so
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Hope you could help me with this one. I have a Shimano Ultegra something or another wheel set. Rim profile is essentially the same as Dura-Ace. However, they're heavier and use cup and cone bearings. Ugh. I was thinking about changing just the hubs to save some weight and make service easier. Problem is the rear rim uses 2-to-1 lacing pattern, and Shimano doesn't recommend switching to 1-to-1 lacing pattern. Would it be safe to go against the recommendation and put on some DT Swiss hubs? I don't want to damage the wheels.
Dude. That sounds like a waste of time. There's this thing called Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Take these things to Facebook Marketplace, sell those things on Facebook Marketplace, use the money from that sale, and buy a whole new set of wheels. Why would you waste your time to do all that just to swap out the hubs?
I actually agree. I'm in full agreement. That's
ridiculous. No way.
If he wants us to actually answer his question, I don't think you should trust any of us with that.
Yeah, true. Like, I don't know anything about lacing up a hub.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't go against their recommendations. Like, you're probably just asking for the rim to break on you. And it sounds like these are, like, nice wheels.
I have those wheels.
Okay, so are they nice wheels?
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Are they training wheels or like racing wheels?
No, I use them for training. Ultegra.
Yeah, then sell those training wheels and get some different ones. I mean, like, yeah.
I don't know if this guy's using them for training or racing or.
I'm guessing he's using them for both, probably. If he's going through the hassle of like trying to salvage the rims. I agree with Drew. I don't think it's worth it. I would just like you can get really nice wheels for not a lot of money these days.
Think of all the other stuff you could do. In the time that you would waste with those wheels, you could read a book or something. Like
you could probably. So I always train a waste of time. If I can cut firewood and sell it and make enough money to cover that amount of like money I'm gonna save, then it's not worth it.
So give us. I'm not following.
That's
give us
the bottom of the barrel task.
Give me an example though.
So he's saying. So in this case here, like let's say this guy hypothetically buys some Industry 9 or DT Swiss hubs and is like, I'm going to relace these wheels with some nice hubs. And if that's going to take him like 6 hours and it's going to save him, $400 because he's not going to have to buy a new wheel set.
But then you could chop
Scott's
wood.
saying if in 6 hours you could chop wood and make more than $400, not worth your time. You should have just chopped wood, made the money, and then bought the nice wheels.
That's a good.
Yeah, you get way more fit. You get so much more fit out of chopping wood for 6 hours than relacing your hubs. Yeah,
and you just feel like a man.
Yeah, I think chopping wood raises your testosterone. I think I saw an Instagram meme about that.
And if you wear a flannel while you're doing it, if you're wearing a flannel and drinking coffee while you're doing it, yeah, you're a man.
Yeah,
you probably live in Kentucky.
Yeah,
or Canada.
You have to have a beard though. I mean, if you're chopping wood without a beard,
are there lumberjacks in Kentucky?
I don't know. There is because the summer that I graduated from college, I went to the Louisville government website to look for jobs, and one of the jobs in Louisville was a lumberjack, and I was like, why didn't somebody tell me this before I went to college and got a business degree? Because I would have 100% went to college and got a lumberjack degree and got that job.
You don't need college, man.
I don't think you need a degree.
You have to have what do you call the people who study trees? No.
Oh,
yes, you have to have that. Yeah, you have to have that. Yep. That's what I went to school. That's what I would have went to school for had I known that was a thing.
Well, apparently, Gani wants to know if anyone has ever told Dizzle that he is the Michael Phelps doppelganger.
Oh. Kinda, yeah, dude. Especially, really? You know how Michael Phelps has like that beard going right now?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a high praise. Dude, it would be better if they said I was looking like Matthew McConaughey. If I could... Can you not hear me?
Now we can hear you. We just don't want you to talk.
If I could look like anybody, I think I'd want to look like and sound like Matthew McConaughey.
I mean...
Good looking. Okay. That's a good-looking guy right there. That's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, but Michael Phelps is like the best athlete who ever lived, so...
Yeah, but not because of his looks.
I mean,
he
looks
he
pretty
said
good.
You look like Michael Phelps, not you perform like him.
Yeah. I'd much rather have his genetics than I would his looks.
If Michael
do you think I would be a better cyclist if I had Michael Phelps' physiology and genetics?
Yes. Hypothetically speaking, let's say Michael Phelps didn't get into swimming, he got into cycling. How far do you think he'd make it?
Yeah, that's essentially the same question I was asking.
Yeah, but I asked it better.
Yeah, you always do that crap.
He's pretty tall. Like, he's a pretty big guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know if he could be like a GC contender. Like, if you would have the stature for that.
He'd need a long dong stem for sure. I mean, he'd probably have a 200 long dong stem. He'd have a super long dong stem.
Yeah, something tells me he's got a long dong stem on his bike.
Right, on his bike.
Yeah.
Okay. DJ, can you give us some insight as to what courses or tire setups you would run inserts for when gravel racing? Seems like you go back and forth, and just curious what makes the decision.
I never run inserts for gravel racing anymore because I run mountain bike tires.
And
I don't feel like you need inserts when you run mountain bike tires. Like, you're not going to flat those things, so...
Wait. What were the first 3 words that you said?
I can't remember.
I don't feel like? I thought feelings didn't matter. Oh, interesting. Wow.
Okay. And then the second question, can we get DJ's thoughts on the new WTB Macro 2.4 fast-rolling XC-oriented mountain bike tire with really similar tread pattern to the Race King, puncture protection, and less than 100 grams heavier in a 2.4-inch Blackwall?
I thought they only made saddles.
Okay,
WTB?
Drew, just get out of here. WTB tires...
I've only ever seen a WTB saddle. And that was like 10 years ago.
This is my opinion. I don't know if Bicycle Rolling Resistance has tested this tire. Have they?
I don't know. You're the
anyway,
Bicycle Rolling Resistance
if they
guy.
had, I know what you would say. Oh yeah, they tested it. It's slow as balls.
It is, dude. WTB tires, all of them, are so slow. Never run a WTB tire ever. It doesn't matter what the tread pattern... This is just a general rule. It doesn't matter what the tread pattern looks like. I mean, why are you looking at the tread pattern?
Yeah. They probably just make their sidewalls out of like cardboard or something. I mean,
dude, they make their sidewalls out of like concrete,
cement.
Dude, WTB tires suck. Don't run WTB tires. Straight up, just don't. Just anything that's WTB, just disregard.
I would love it. I would just love it if they came out with like the fastest tire and it was at the top of the chart on the Rolling Resistance website. I would love that. And then next year, Dylan is running a WTB.
Dude, if that happened, I
would put some money towards that. I would make that.
Look,
Let's
Drew,
make that happen.
Drew, if that happened, I would actually believe your theory that tire companies are paying off the Rolling Resistance guy.
Yeah,
because WTB tires are that slow and suck that bad.
They Bicycle Rolling Resistance has never tested any WTB tires. So how would we?
Because they don't exist.
We're just speculating now. They could be.
You can't test a saddle.
It could be a sleeper, man. It could be the fastest ones out there. No one even knows about it. Someone else that I can't find the message now because I think I actually deleted it. Wants to know, when you were on Niner, did you ever run the full suspension gravel bike?
No, I actually never rode. Too. Yeah, I never rode that bike. Not once.
I have one. The RKT?
No, the full suspension gravel bike.
Oh, the Magic Carpet Ride. Yes, the MCR.
Yep.
That's what they called it?
One. Yeah, the MCR, Magic Carpet Ride. I tried to get one, but I wasn't high enough on their sponsorship list to get things.
Bummer, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean,
I
didn't get one either, so. Yeah.
Was that by choice?
Bummer.
Like you didn't want one, Dylan?
Maybe there's a reason why that company barely exists now. It's because they didn't give us free stuff.
Well, I mean, I would have taken one if they had given it to me. I would have tried it out, but they didn't. So, nope, never rode it.
Bummer. Let's see. Okay, you want another tire question?
Yeah.
Nah.
Hey guys, been listening for a while and finally asking a question. Oh, this is also from Dylan.
Oh. Wow.
Would this be Dylan 1 or Dylan 2? Probably Dylan 2.
Dylan 1.
Sorry if this has already been covered. Wondering what DJ's thoughts are on the best 50 millimeter gravel race tire. My wife and I both ride a Canyon Grizzle and have been getting into racing more. We live in Colorado and have Steamboat and the Rad coming up. Before DJ tells us to throw our bikes in the dumpster so we can buy a bike that can accept 2.4 Race Kings, I have to say buying 2 new bikes is not an option. Appreciate all the work you guys do. Keep up the good work, Dylan.
The Grizzle can fit mountain bike tires, though.
Boom. There's your answer. So if they can't fit Race Kings, would you run like the 2.0 or 2.1 Thunderbirds?
Yeah. 2.1 Thunderbirds.
Done.
What about, they do make a 2.0 Race King. It's just not the compound or whatever.
Yeah, and the compound is what matters. So don't buy that one.
Is it really that big of a deal that I couldn't just run the Race King 2.0s?
Well, obviously you can run them if you want to run them and go slower.
But they're the slower ones, right? They're the slower
Are they
compound?
that much slower, though? Like, they're really that much slower that you aren't even going to consider that as a choice?
Me personally,
you would rather run the sketchy Thunderbirds that.
Yeah, me personally, they're that much slower that I wouldn't even consider them.
Dude, okay, hold on, wait a second. This is very relevant. Someone sent us a bike rumor post about Tom Pidcock's bike breakdown, and it says that he ran 2.3 Conti Race King Race Sports. That's what Drew's talking about in the 2.0.
No, he didn't do.
That's what it says. And then on the tire, you can look. It says Black Chili Compound Race Sport.
But it's Black Chili Compound. Black Chili Compound is the compound that matters.
Yeah. The compound,
no, it's the casing that matters. It's the protection versus the race sport. It's not the compound. It's actually the casing.
Well, it's a combination of both.
Sure, but it's
what's the other protection called?
Is what
Pure Grip. That's the slow.
I don't know. I just know that I've always gotten the protection ones.
Dude, they did not give Tom Pidcock the cheap casing. There's no way they did that.
There's a picture of it. You can see it.
Okay, well, maybe they're like changing their marketing. You know what I'm saying? No, it says Black Chili Compound, dude.
Underneath it. What does it say underneath that?
They're changing.
Sport.
No, dude, they didn't give him a cheap tire to race the Olympics on.
Yeah, we're talking about there's the Black Chili and then there's the
article,
Pure Grip.
Man. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying.
I'm talking that they do have a 2.0, but it's in the Pure Grip compound, not the Black Chili. That's really like, I shouldn't even consider that as an option. If my bike doesn't fit 2.2s, but I don't want to run Thunderbirds.
Look, Drew, you can do whatever you want, man. Like if you want to run slow tires, you can run slow tires. No one's stopping you.
And the same person sent me the bicycle rolling resistance chart for comparing the Aspen STs to the Conti Race Kings. Like, I know, I've seen the data. Like, I've done my own testing. And I said, with my testing that I've done,
Adam did
Aspen
STs real world
performed
testing,
just as good, if not better.
Not basement garage testing in Germany.
Basement garage? That would be dope. You have like an elevator to go down in the basement?
Dude, this guy on YouTube did that. He built an underground garage so that he has what's his name? Colin Furs. This dude's hilarious. And he built an underground, first of all, he built an underground bunker, and then he did an underground tunnel. And now he did an underground garage so that he can drive his DeLorean. He has a DeLorean from like Back to the Future. And now when he gets out of his garage, it just comes up out of the ground and he drives it off.
That's sick.
And he did it all. He just did it all himself. He's just like this weird engineer guy.
Who's better at going off on a tangent than Drew?
That's relevant. He literally just said,
like where Adam controls the mute button.
I will say we get enough comments.
Would you guys rather hear about all these random things that I talk about, or just talk about Leadville for an hour and a half? At least I give us some entertainment outside.
All right, hold on. Another question. This one for the Bonk Bros. I know a few of you guys have competed in the NUE series or at least one of their races. Wondering why you guys think it has never taken off or gotten more attention. Is it because of the race director or something? I've never heard anything good about him or had good experience with him. It's sad because most of the races in this series are really awesome. We could probably skip over that. I mean,
you know what Dylan's gonna say? What years did you win the series in, like?
Dude, NUE series. I never even heard of that series. I don't know what that is.
Nah. That series was really good when Dylan was doing that series. That's what Dylan would say. It used to be really good.
When we were in college, that series was the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
It was
but now it's nothing. Now it's like, but now it like barely even exists.
Yeah,
Dylan's moved on.
It's the opposite of the Grand Prix. You know how the Grand Prix, the competition keeps going up and up and up. In the NUE series, the competition keeps going down and down and down. So if you won the NUE series like 8 years ago, you're a boss. If you won the NUE series now, you're a chump.
You're not a boss. No.
I think that's how me and you became friends. Was we met each other at all those NUE races.
Yeah, you'd always blow up.
No, not true. I always did the shorter distance because I knew I blew up. So then I just wouldn't do the 100.
Yeah, one time you did Kohutta, remember? Like the 100, and that
was literally the second time I had ever ridden my bike that far.
You catastrophically blew up like 6 hours in.
Probably, yeah. I was probably
Dylan was already at the finish line drinking his LaCroix.
Yeah, I was probably like drinking water. Like I didn't know anything back then. Literally. I probably bonked so hard at that race. I was probably eating a Cliff Bar. I probably literally ate a Cliff Bar during the race. Not even kidding.
That's sad.
I asked my one of my directors last year, raced in like the 80s and the 90s. I asked him what he ate during like a 7-hour race. He said, "I'd have one Granny Smith."
A cookie? An apple.
One apple?
Halfway through the race, he'd have one apple.
One apple for 7 hours.
Yeah.
They were way better, dude. Man.
They're way harder than we are.
Isn't that
these
insane?
Days.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Their bodies must have been like functioning differently than what ours like. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's called way slower.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Kyle wants to know who was talking about their NV Mog and whether or not, and wants to know could it fit 2.0 or 2.2 tires. Thinking about that versus the 3T Extreme. I don't know what the 3T Extreme is, but that bike sounds terrible compared to the
know
Mog.
about the 3T Extreme. Dude, we talked about it like 3 times.
Is that the Aero one?
It's like Aero and it fits mountain bike tires.
Okay. Well, can it fit 2.2s? Because mine can.
I don't know.
Well,
you don't need 2.2s. Just get those 2.0 Race Kings.
Yeah, the race sports.
Yeah, the race.
Get on that Tom Pidcock game.
Yeah, the unfast ones.
The Mog can fit in clear 2.2s with like 5 mil of clearance around the tire. Technically, that's bigger than it's supposed to. I think the spec sheet only calls for 50 mil, but 55 mil fits. It's fine. Unless it doesn't fit on your bike, then don't come at me.
Dude, what about the felt breed carbon though, dude? That fits 2.2s.
Yeah,
do you have a discount code?
I've seen it though. Like yours, like it's like really stuffed in there. And didn't you have to cut the side knobs off?
I mean, you got to do that for Aero anyway.
I don't know about that.
Aero.
You can do whatever you want. If you want to be like Dylan, do that. But the NV
what's
Mog
this guy's question? It's like, which one should he buy, the NV Mog or the 3T Extreme Mog?
Yeah. Then
get them both.
It's no question.
Just get them both. How about scrap both of those and get a state all road? Code Dizzle 2024.
You could get 4 different state all roads, and you could have one that's got like road tires. You could have one that's got skinny gravel tires.
Or you could get their titanium bike. Yeah, they just came out with a titanium bike. Get that thing. It would all, and you could get the tie bike. You get the carbon gravel bike and the carbon road bike, and it probably still would be cheaper than an NV Mog. And you'll save 10% with code Dizzle 2024, and I'll make some money. You'll be supporting a broke bike racer.
Just get the NV. Move on to the next question.
All right, this one's actually some really funny feedback, and of course it comes from Joe, and we'll probably just end on this one. Hey dipshits, your podcast is entertaining, but sometimes your ignorance is fucking astounding. Christian Blumenfeld is a world-class athlete and Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, we know that.
We pissed off Blumenfeld's cousin. We got Blumenfeld's cousin messaging us in.
Look, we know he's an Olympic gold medalist, but he also just so happens to be fat.
Wait till the next sentence. Spend 2 seconds on Google or his Instagram page, and you'll quickly realize that he is not fat at all. That's simply the shape of his upper body. Okay. What does that mean? If that's the shape of anyone's body, it doesn't like that's just
no.
That doesn't make sense.
Somebody tells you you have a beer belly, and I say, "Nah, that's just the shape of my
all
body,
the time
my upper
when
body."
it comes to discussing anything outside of your tiny little bubble of American off-road racing. Except Tyler, he seems to have a life. Yes, I'm still going to tune in every week to listen to you clowns because, again, at least you're entertaining. Cheers. Also, get Scott on more. It's nice to hear from an actual professional.
Oh, snap, dude.
You know how many messages I get with people that are like, "These other idiots on this podcast don't know what they're talking about. Like, you gotta step it up."
Guys,
I get messages all the time saying you're an idiot.
Yeah, I get messages too.
I guess they're onto something.
Oh, I gotta find the Patreon thing.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
okay,
guy,
look. While you're looking for the
Patreon,
I get that Christian Blumenfeld has massive lungs and it makes his chest all wonky shaped. I get it, and his VO2 max is 150. I get it. But also, can we get a report on his body fat percentage?
Yeah, I thought he was going to say. I thought that the guy was going to say, "Oh, all I had to do was Google for 2 seconds, and I found his body weight." But he just said that's the shape of him. Yeah, that's what we're saying too. His shape is weird, but
I've heard his coach say too that they tried to have him lose weight, and his VO2 went down.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, I have seen that too.
So, like, it's on purpose.
Kyle Perry, one of our coaches, had through this like hypothetical situation where it's like he said like because of that, because like when you gain weight, your VO2 goes up. He's like, what if for a whole year you just like weighed 300 pounds and got whatever benefits you get from being big, but then you lost all that weight really quick and raced the next year. And he was wondering like if some of those benefits of just being 300 pounds would stick with you when you drop back down to your normal weight. I'm like, I don't know, but I'm not about to try.
Why don't you try it and report back?
I found a thread on Reddit about Christian Blumenfeld in like the Norwegian training plan and some lab testing they did. And someone says, it's so frustrating to me that Blumenfeld has a full-on dad bod, but is either the best or second best triathlete in the world. How is that possible?
We're not the only ones thinking this. There are other people that are saying the same exact thing.
Somebody look up Christian Blumenfeld body fat percentage.
That's
right
how
now.
I got to this.
Why is this guy so mad that we talked about Blumenfeld? Like, why does he care? Why does this guy care so much?
Joe is from Norway. I don't know. He called us.
From Norway.
He said we had a tiny little American bubble, so I'm guessing he's not from the
U.S.
U.S.
That is true. Very true.
He's definitely Norwegian.
The rest of the world doesn't give a single fuck about gravel racing. That's for sure.
That's true.
Okay. This guy commented, "There's one host who is taking this podcast down single-handedly."
Oh, I think we all know who that is.
It's got to be me. Who'd they say?
He didn't say.
Oh, he just left that hanging out there? You're really not going to tell us who you think is... Dang.
I mean, we know who it is, Drew.
Yeah, there's no...
Who do you guys think it is?
I don't
take me off this podcast, and it's not as entertaining.
Also, this comment, that moment Scott demonstrates that his EQ is higher than Dylan's.
Okay, but what moment was that? I don't remember a moment where your EQ was higher.
Is this emotional?
All the time?
Emotional intelligence. Apparently, Scott demonstrated that his emotional intelligence was higher than mine on the last podcast. And I don't remember.
Do emotions?
So is that a thing?
Do emotions have intelligence? How do you measure emotional intelligence?
This is why you're single-handedly taking the podcast down, Drew.
My emotions don't have a brain.
No, we're okay. It would just be nice if this guy pointed out the moment in the podcast where your EQ was higher.
Well, if they're listening now, they can take a little snippet from last week and send it to us. I'll never know
because I will never listen to one of these.
And if they do that, then we'll drop it in, or actually we'll just put it on Instagram.
Sick.
All right, let's wrap this thing up though.
Please.
Okay. Thanks for
you guys
getting out of bed.
You guys really think I'm the one he was talking about?
We're gonna end it there.